Time and time and time again, what we hear in reef keeping groups and places where saltwater aquaria are talked about is that the main reason that some people don't get into the hobby is the cost. It's the barrier to entry. It's expensive to buy all of the stuff that you need to get started in the saltwater aquaria. And that's not an untrue statement. Introducing the Sea Cardinal. This little tank right over here is a budget-minded option for entry into the saltwater aquarium hobby, and it's actually created by a guy that I know who works at my local fish store named Elliot. Now, Elliot has partnered with a major saltwater aquarium manufacturer to create this system, and let me tell you what you get for under $500 plus shipping. There's two options. You can get either a 15-gallon or a 22-gallon tank. I have the 22-gallon, and it's made of low iron starfire glass. So the glass is so clear, it's absolutely beautiful to look at your corals through this stuff. For the price that I just mentioned before, you're going to get a stand, a tank, a light, a heater, a flow device, a wave maker, a flow pump to go through the filtration in the back. There's a power strip, there's a skimmer, and a net kit to go around the top. It's literally all the hard parts that you need to get your aquarium going. Now, it's not everything that you need. You're still going to need other stuff like sand and rocks and RODI water and test kits and a few other things. And we're going to go through that in this series that I'm calling How to Start a Saltwater Aquarium for Beginners. Yes, it's a pretty simple title. There's a reason that I'm calling it that. Now, he and I are also collaborating on this because he reached out to me and wanted to know if I could make him some additional components to go along with this tank. So I'm going to be making these for this tank, which is a filter sock or a filter basket holder. I've got a filter basket that I'm designing right now that's going to drop in here as well. And we have this guy that drops in as well. It's a media rack. It's got removable little media grates that go right in there just like that. Don't try to do this stuff on camera. Anyway, we're going to have that. I'm also going to be 3D printing an ATO for this, where you can just use like a smart water bottle or something like that. Twist that down into the top. It'll go on the return section, and that's going to be a gravity-fed ATO, much like the bottle ATO that I have over here on my planted betta fish aquarium. Now, these accessories are not ready for shipping just yet. We're still in the prototyping phase for these things, but in the future, they will be available on the Sea Cardinal website as well, or my Etsy store. We haven't worked out all the details, but that's coming. And in this video, I just want to introduce the Sea Cardinal system to you and talk to you a little bit about tank size. This is the first video, so I figured that's a good place to start. You can go wrong here. Starting too small with a saltwater aquarium is a mistake that a lot of people make. Something like a 5 or a 6 or a 7 or 8 gallon, even a 10-gallon tank, things are going to happen really fast in that tank. And if you don't have the knowledge or the ability to be able to identify these problems when they just get started, it's going to be too late once you figure out, oh my gosh, I've got something going on in my tank. What do I do about it? Well, now you have a fight on your hands with whatever that thing happens to be. Let's just take ammonia for an example and say you're having a party at your house and you have a hot tub and you have a Olympic-sized swimming pool in your backyard. Yeah, you're not too worried about how much your aquariums cost on second thought. Maybe that's a bad example, but we're going to go with it anyway. So your crazy Uncle Phil comes over to the house, and Uncle Phil is known for peeing in the pool, which is kind of a weird thing. If Uncle Phil pees in your hot tub, that is going to be a very different, more concentrated situation than if Uncle Phil pees in your swimming pool, which has a lot more water volume. The solution to pollution is dilution. That is often said by Ryan from BRS, and he's absolutely correct. I mean, of course he is. He's an aquarium expert, industry expert, but he's got a point. If you were to take 1 cup of ammonia and pour it into a 22-gallon aquarium, you're going to have a very much more concentrated solution than if you were to take that same cup of ammonia and pour it into a 300-gallon total volume system. And this is the crux of starting with a tank that is too small. Things happen way too fast for most people to be able to ID them and get that problem fixed before something goes catastrophically wrong. It is appealing to try to start with a tank that small, something like a 5-gallon aquarium, because it's cheap. You can get stuff to fit onto it cheap, and all of that sounds nice. But the problem is the things that we need with our saltwater aquariums don't work well with 5-gallon and little tiny tanks like that. We actually call those Pico tanks, and I've got a couple of them. My wine glass tank here took over a year to get stabilized, where I don't have to really do much to it. And this candy jar tank is still going, and I have to mess with this thing all the time just to keep things happy. Now, Sea Cardinal offers a tank down at a 15-gallon size, and that is absolutely the lower limit that I would recommend for anybody getting started into the hobby. You can be successful with a 15-gallon tank as long as you're paying attention to that tank. You put your eyes on that tank every day, and I can help get you there. Now, this aquarium is not even assembled yet. I just have it here with all of the stuff on the inside, but it's important to know that if you get the stand, it comes pre-assembled. You might have to tighten up a screw here or there, but for the most part, it's already put together. You pull a little bit of plastic off here or there, and you're good to go. The reason that it isn't put together is because I'm going to use this as a training series. We are going to go over every piece of equipment, every way that you can install things. We're going to talk about sand. We're going to talk about rocks. We're going to talk about cycling. We're going to talk about first inhabitants, cleanup crew, the whole 9 yards. So if that's something that sounds interesting to you, if you're not quite yet ready to get an aquarium, but you want to get one in the future and you want to learn some things first, subscribe to the channel, because this is going to be an awesome series. And it's going to be happening in real time. There are several of those series out there on YouTube where they're all pre-recorded. All of the mistakes and all of the happenstance are all removed in editing and all of that stuff. This is going to probably end up being one video a week where we literally just follow the process and the progress of this tank as it unfolds. Now, for some of you, you might not like that. I know it's going to take weeks and weeks and weeks for this thing to get done. But in the end, it's going to be freaking awesome. Oh, and by the way, why don't you let me know down in the comments what you would like to see this become? Do you guys want to see this as a clownfish anemone tank? Do you want to see it as an SPS dominated tank? I don't like that option. They grow really slow. It'll take a long time, but it's an option that we can go for. Or would you like to just see a torch garden or a hammer garden or a Euphilia tank or something like that? Let me know, because ultimately I want this series to be a series that makes you guys happy and gives you the information that you need to be successful in reef keeping. Now, there's just one problem. I don't have enough money to stock yet another aquarium. So I need you to watch this video on the screen right now, because the more views you give me, the more money I make. And the more money I make, the more I can spend on aquariums and buying things to put in the aquariums and make more content for you. And it's just this circle of life that we need to have with each other right now.